Good afternoon. Sorry for the delay. We got a little long-winded there. Welcome to the monthly August 15th, 7 o'clock monthly meeting for the Union County Board of Education. I'd like to welcome all visitors and guests and call this meeting to order. First on the agenda is let's say the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, everyone received the agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion. We approve the agenda as submitted.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Next item is the, everyone was emailed the minutes from the last meeting. Does anyone have any comments, questions? Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion. We approve the minutes that were submitted to all of us by email.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor? Next item is recognitions. Cooperative Spirit Sportsmanship Award at Union County High School. Dr. Rayfield?
Well, just very quickly, Madam Chairman, I would like to recognize the athletic department at Union County High School. They were chosen as a Sportsmanship Award winner in Class 3A Region 7 for the year. Last year, there are only 8 schools in their division that are recognized statewide. They are recognized on the basis of student athletes, coaches, spectators, and all others associated with high school activities and programs should adhere to the fundamental values of respect, fairness, honesty, and responsibility. Schools around the state are honored for exhibiting exceptional sportsmanship during competitive events. So just certainly would like to recognize our student athletes and our coaches and our athletic department for handling their business that way, being recognized.
Would you, Mr. CT, would you tell him we said thank you?
I will do that.
Thank you. Okay. Next item in the agenda is discussion items. I have a statement I would like to read before we move into this section of the agenda. Public comment and general guidelines for Union County Board of Education. Must have prior approval and be listed on the meeting agenda. Must state the reason/topic the speaker will address. Public comment will be limited to 3 minutes. The speaker will not be able to speak concerning specific personnel and/or personal issues. The speaker will not be allowed to share confidential or protected information. The speaker will be professional, courteous, and refrain from using profanity and/or disrespectful remarks. The board and the superintendent will not respond to questions or comments during public comment. The board will take comments under consideration and develop written responses if deemed appropriate. Thank you. I'd like to ask Elaine Buckley if she would like to step forward or if you want to speak from there.
I had wanted to speak about the school bus issue, and I wrote you the letter. I had an opportunity to meet with Mr. Garrett, and I was impressed with him. But when somebody calls the school board office, and this is my problem, you're told, oh, you have to speak and get permission. And as I put in that letter, and as it states in your thing, all you should have to do is call the school board office and say, my name is so-and-so, I'm a taxpayer, I'd like to speak about such and such, whether it's the school bus or students or teachers, or maybe not teachers because that's an employee thing, but whatever you want to speak about, they should just put, okay, yes. You shouldn't have to go and be interviewed by anyone to obtain permission to speak to you people. And that's my beef right now. I did get to talk to Mr. Garrett and John Hill, who's sitting over here, and I got some information. But to have to go through an interview to stand here and talk to you is not the appropriate thing. We call, we make the request, and you say, okay. And you have police here every time, If somebody is obnoxious or rude, they get escorted out. I don't have a problem with any of that. But I don't like being interviewed, and some other people have been treated very rudely when they've tried to speak to you. And you are supposed to be telling the superintendent what they can and cannot do. He is not supposed to be telling you and me what we cannot do. Okay? All I'm asking for is freedom of speech. I talked to him about the school bus issues, and my only comment with the school bus issue now is it the appropriate time to spend this kind of money. It seems like in the past, money has been appropriated for things. As I said in that little letter, the school buses that were supposed to be bought were never purchased. I think only one was bought. We don't know where our money is going. And I personally would like a better accounting of when you're asking for this money, some reports of where it's going, how it's been spent. Now, I was impressed with Mr. Garrett. I was a school bus driver for 12 years. And let me tell you, I had a couple idiots for directors of transportation. One of them couldn't even drive a school bus. And I think that's a height of stupidity. But this is a small district. And you don't need everything at every time the idea comes up. You had cameras in the buses before. As a bus driver, they're great. They protect the bus driver if it's pointed at the back of the bus. Now, what I found out about the GPS systems, I'm not too thrilled with. If it's going to record every little mile per hour, and I don't know if it's going to ding in the bus when it goes over, but it could be an annoying thing for some bus drivers. If you're going downhill and the bus speeds up, are you going to get chewed out for it? You know? You can't always maintain a perfect speed. I don't think any of us do in any of our vehicles, you know? But I just think you need to have more freedom of speech here, and you shouldn't have to be interviewed to come here and talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Buckley.
I'm surprised that you gave me, I was never notified either. After the interviews, I was never notified whether or not I could speak, whether or not I could put up an agenda. You know, it's just, come in here and tell us what you want.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is an action item, principals quarterly reports. Dr. Rayfield?
Madam Chairman, you have all of the quarterly reports for each of the schools, and I believe the principals are here and would be able to answer any specific questions that you have. Barbara and I have reviewed those and don't find anything out of order, but I think all the principals are here and can answer questions if there are any related to specific reports.
Does anyone have any comments or questions? Okay, I have one. Union County Primary School, the Teachers Exchange, what does that stand for, please?
The Teachers Exchange is just where teachers and parapros can put money into an account, and that can be used for like flowers for people that may have had members of their family that died, or surgeries or things like that. We use that for our faculty.
Makes sense. Thank you. I just didn't know what that was. It's on yours too.
Actually, wait just a minute. That may be the faculty fund. The Teacher Exchange is where they do book orders, and the money comes in and then it goes out.
Okay. Union County Middle School, I noticed that the field trip balances look pretty good. Are we in line with some field trips for this year?
We are. I've gotten requests that I've already signed for all grades, actually.
Okay, and what's the Sunshine Fund?
That is the faculty fund, Senator Sullivan was talking about. It is if whatever we raise through the faculty, then we have buy lunch, different things that we have for the faculty.
Mr. C.T. Hutchins, on the high school, the automotive vocational, I had a person in the community mention to me that he would like to give to this fund. Do y'all accept goods as well as money, or just money?
Well, I mean, we can accept donations. You know,
Like car parts and that
Yeah,
sort of thing?
yeah. I mean, if he's got it, if they're in good working order.
They are, they're new.
Not at all. Yeah,
Okay.
be great.
I'll try to get with you in the next couple of weeks and get you together.
Yeah, great.
Okay. That's all I have. Anybody else? I'd like to entertain a motion. We accept the principal report as submitted.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, approve final millage rate. Dr. Rayfield?
Madam Chairman, we would submit to you a millage rate of 11.780. That is a rollback from last year's rate of 11.787. We would recommend 11.780 for this year's millage rate. That has been on the table for 30 days and has been duly advertised.
I'd like to entertain a motion. We accept the millage rate as 11.780.
Make that motion, Madam Chair. Second.
All in favor? Passes. Okay, the next item on our agenda is Union County Learning. Down there to it.
This is the board's requesting the board's acceptance of a 21st Century Learning Grant from the Georgia Department of Education. You'll notice in the documentation it is specifically for Woody Gap School in the amount of $297,974. And the board must take action to approve and receive those funds from the state of Georgia so that we can continue a highly successful, I might add, after-school program at Woody Gap.
Okay. I'd like to entertain a motion. We accept the $297,974.
I make the motion, second.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, the next item is the Union County 4-H AmeriCorps grant.
Anybody here from the extension office? I didn't see anybody come in. This is something that was in place last year with our 4-H extension office. There's a contract with AmeriCorps and the University of Georgia Extension Service to pay $2,000 so that we will have a 4-H program assistant that goes into the schools and works on a part-time basis at the extension office. That young lady has completed 1 year on the AmeriCorps grant, and they would retain the same person for the second year to go in and work with a 4-H agent as they do activities in the schools. It has to be, we have to be a contributor to that equation for our local county office to get the AmeriCorps grant.
I understand. Okay, everyone received that contract ahead of time? Were there any questions, concerns, or anything? Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion. We accept the Union County 4-H AmeriCorps grant paperwork.
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Next item on the agenda is approve the FY18 CTAE plan.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to turn it over. You have the documents, but Mr. Josh Davis is here with us from the high school. He is our Career Technology and Agricultural Education Director at the high school, and he needs to submit his plan and budget to you required by the state to be approved by the board.
Okay.
Thank you. Like Dr. Rayfield said, the plan's in front of you guys, but our basically I laid out some goals and objectives for our CTA department for the year. First off, we are partnering with North Georgia Technical College to house a CNC machinist lab at the high school, which is a very exciting opportunity for our students as well as their students. We're in the process of creating our new healthcare science lab on the second level that's being added to C-Wing right now, which will be a state-of-the-art facility for our students. And then we're going to transform our current healthcare science lab into the sports medicine lab, which was mentioned at the previous meeting. We are modifying and purchasing new equipment for our metals lab, which will include adding 2 welding booths for our students to utilize. We're going to be beginning our construction of our middle school agriculture lab very soon. We're working with Woody Gap to implement the Mountain Heritage Agriculture Program. We're also at the high school, we're going to be continuing to build our computer science and incubator EDU programs. And actually the computer science, we are, have started working with the middle school to get those students interested and involved with that program as well. So very excited about that. Each CTA program is required by the state to have an advisory committee, which includes people from the community to get involved with the programs. And we are looking at doing a district-wide advisory committee where we bring in community businesses, business people from around the community all together at one time and basically have roundtable sessions with each of our programs. We think that that would help just be more effective process than doing them all sporadically throughout the year. So we're going to be planning that. And that goes into the next goal is expanding our relationships with the local business community. We're also looking at, before the middle school 8th graders start signing up for their elective classes at the high school, actually taking our pathways to the middle school, which would include students presenting to the students in each pathway, presenting to the middle school students what each pathway entails, and sort of, it'd be kind of like a career fair, but we'd call it a pathway fair for the middle school students so that they would understand our offerings. And then we're also wanting to have a college and career fair for the high school juniors. In the past I've heard from especially colleges that they would rather see juniors coming through because by the time they see seniors, those seniors have already made the decisions that they need to make. And then our work-based learning program, we're working to increase just the placements in jobs that are related to the careers that our students are wanting to go into. So we've been working very hard to do that. And then the final thing there is we're going to be partnering with our Move On When Ready program and our post-secondary institutions, including North Georgia Technical College, to offer hopefully some dual enrollment opportunities for our students in career and technical fields instead of just the academic dual enrollment opportunities. So, also included in the packet is our Union County Schools state-approved CTA budget with all the allotments and everything. So, and I can answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.
Does anyone have any questions on the CTA information?
I had the opportunity to work with Mr. Davis in the early part of his plan, and I think they've done an outstanding job as a department outlining what the money will be used for this year, and the goals that they've identified are certainly already, some of them are very much in motion. So I would recommend this plan for approval.
I'd like to entertain a motion. We accept the CTAE FY18 budget as submitted.
I'll make that motion, Madam Chair.
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay. Next item on the agenda is to approve the purchase of the cafeteria equipment that was discussed in the 6 o'clock meeting. I think Courtney brought it up to us and gave us a lot of information. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, or anything with Courtney? Okay.
It is a replacement fryer at a cost of $11,544.18.
I'd like to entertain a motion, we accept the replacement fryer bid of $11,544.18.
I make a motion to accept the bid.
Second. All in favor? Next item on the agenda is to approve the bid for the purchase of the bus cameras.
Bus cameras, we had 7 bid packages that were submitted to us for consideration. We would recommend to accept the low bid from 24/7 Security Incorporated, a total cost to outfit our entire bus fleet of $83,647.
Okay. I'd like to entertain a motion that we accept to purchase bus cameras from 24/7 Security.
I'll make the motion. Second.
All in favor? Next item on the agenda is to approve MOU with Union General Hospital Athletic Training Services. This was discussed pretty detailed in our 6 o'clock meeting. Does anyone have any questions, concerns on whether we do this? Okay. I'd like to entertain a motion that we accept Union General Hospital's Athletic Training Services program that was submitted to us.
I'll make the motion, we approve.
Second.
All in favor? The next item on the agenda is to approve change in the October board meeting date. I'd like to entertain a motion that we give Dr. Rayfield the go-ahead to change the October board meeting date from the one that's on the calendar.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? The next item on the agenda is the personnel recommendations. Those were sent to us ahead of time, and would y'all like to take them all together or individually? Okay. Then I'd like to entertain a motion, we accept the personnel recommendations with the new hires, the approved positions, separations, and additional responsibilities as submitted.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? And finally, I'd like to entertain a motion that we adjourn the August meeting to the Union County Board of Education.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? And that's it, folks.